Okay, I didn't get a chance to finish telling you guys about everything in conclusion about the whole apartment stuff. It was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. It was actually the worst moving experience that I've ever gone through. When I first got the U-Haul, everything ran smoothly. I went back to the apartment and started loading the truck with all the boxes. It took 3 hours. It took over 4 hours to get that stuff in the truck. Then my mom came back from her doctor's appointment and we had to drive to storage. It was extremely hot. I've never sweat so much in my life. We dropped the things off at storage. It was like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The people that were helping us move, which is my 2 lovely cousins and my stepdad, helped me. They really came through for me. I was so excited because you guys know I was struggling with finding someone. Some people let me down, and I'm not gonna name any names, but whatever. And they came through. They kept texting and calling, asking like what time to come through. First we were telling them 2 o'clock. They were saying 3, they were saying 4. We actually didn't finish everything and like loading the stuff to and from the apartment until 6:30 that night. Then we had to go and get them, meet up with them again at my old apartment, and they started moving about 7 o'clock, and it took them about 2.5 hours to get everything on the truck. By that time storage was closed, so we couldn't drop some of the stuff off at storage, and I didn't want to pay extra money to take another trip to it like 6 o'clock that morning when the storage place opened. But I couldn't, not only because of the money issue, because I used the wrong credit card. I accidentally used the wrong credit card that didn't have as much money on it as the other one, so I was nervous that I was gonna go over it and they were gonna decline my card. So I didn't want to take any chances going back to storage like before I was supposed to return the U-Haul truck. And long story short, we couldn't put the stuff in storage, most of the stuff in storage, so we had to put it in my tiny little apartment. And after that, going to the storage thing and it being too late, or not going to the storage thing and it being, and we're right by storage too right now. Yeah, it was too late. It was after 9 o'clock. We started unloading the stuff to the apartment. Tired, hungry, only had a chicken wing to eat that day. I had a few bottles of water, because I'm telling you, I was sweating. I was hot like crazy. It was like 95-degree weather all day long. After we did that, so we had to start unloading the truck again. When we got to the apartment, it took them over 2.5 hours. At some point, the headboard, the mirror on my headboard broke, so they couldn't bring it into the apartment, and they threw it out. They had a difficult time putting the same, what does she want? Okay, I forgot where I ended the story, but I think I was telling you about the thing breaking, my headboard breaking and having to throw it away. And then afterwards, at 12 midnight, they had to put the last thing finally off the truck. They had to put the sofa, and we were having like a hard time like getting it up the stairs. So we're gonna use the elevator. And when we I wasn't there, but what apparently happened is my stepdad, as he was putting the sofa or trying to stuff it into the elevator, it hit like, I think, the sprinkler, and the fire alarm went off in the whole apartment complex. And everybody and their mama came outside, and they were mad, and they were yelling, and they were saying like they have work in the morning and stuff. At the time, I didn't know it was our fault. Nobody did. We were just hearing the alarms. And then some person was like, wow, this happens all the time. We wonder what's going on. And the fire department shows up like 10 minutes later, and the people are all yelling at them. They're like, what took you so long? What took you so long to get here? And and they're like, well, if no one calls, we don't come. Said we didn't know about this. And yeah, all the time it was our fault, and we didn't know it. We didn't know. We woke up the whole neighborhood, got the fire department involved, and the fire department said they were actually on their way to an emergency when it happened, and they just happened to stop by and saw us like panicking and yelling at each other. Oh my gosh. So after all of that happened, I'll let him go. After all of that happened, then I had to drop the U-Haul truck back off, or at least the key, because the place was closed, and he is directly behind me blocking my space. After I had to drop the U-Haul back off, which was like 1 o'clock in the morning now, I had to put the key in the drop box, and it started pouring down, raining. Like pouring down. Pouring. My curls, you guys know how I am with my curls? My curls was wet. I got drenched or whatever. Then I had to drive back to the apartment, the old apartment, so I could finish cleaning it. And at this time, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, because I was supposed to have left since July 31st. This has all happened on August 1st, and technically August 2nd now, since it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? So I'm cleaning the place. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm in pain. Like, I couldn't feel I have bruises like all over my legs. I'll see if I can show you guys later. Yeah, so after being there cleaning the place like 2:30 in the morning, and I start putting like the final things in my car, it starts pouring again. Pouring rain. And there's no umbrellas. We have no umbrellas. So I'm trying to stuff the dog in the car, the bunny in the car, and it's wet, and it's not even like the regular rain where it's pouring. You know that slanted rain? That slanted rain that be like hitting you like sideways, which makes it even 10 times annoying. And it was cold. It wasn't even our normal like warm like raindrops in South Florida. No, it was big cold raindrops. And at that point, I was so over it. I was hungry. I only had that one chicken wing that day. Not chicken wing, drumstick, chicken leg, and just water. So I'm hungry, I'm wet, I'm dirty. I have been at it for almost 24 hours now at this point. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker, guys. Here's the kicker. I had to work. I had to get up for work 5 o'clock that morning, and at this time it was already 3 o'clock. 3. So I get back to my new place after everything is done. It's now 3:30, and things are everywhere. I was over it. I was so over it. I took a shower. I didn't even have a rag because I couldn't find my rag. I took a shower and I flipped over one of the love seats in the living room. I don't know how I did it. By the grace of God, he did something for me. I flipped over it. I stole one of my sister's childhood blankets. I saw it sitting there in a bag, like all the way off in the corner, and I fell asleep right there on that tiny little couch. I got 2 hours of sleep because Charlie kept waking up and bothering me because I guess the environment was like new to him. So he couldn't sleep, and because he couldn't sleep, I couldn't sleep because he kept waking me up. And I ended up calling out of work, and because I just couldn't do it. There was no way I'd be able to work. I know I'm talking forever, but on top of that, after everything happened, I actually still had a few things I had to clean. So I just came to the apartment today, cleaned it up. 10 o'clock I went to the rental office and I gave them back the key, and I hand the keys to the lady. She's like, okay, that's it. I was like, that's it? She's like, yeah. So I'm looking at her because, you know, I gave her my $400 deposit 2 years ago when I moved in. She's like, oh, do you want me to take pictures of the apartment? Well, yeah, do whatever you need to do. I'm trying to get my money back. Long story short, she did not give me my money back. She gave me a long excuse about how I left a few of the things in there and how technically I was supposed to have been moved out since July 31st, and I was still there on the 2nd, which I was not. I was only there until the 1st. I just had things left in the apartment on the 2nd. So no deposits, and yeah. So I'm never moving again. I'm pretty sure I'm never moving again unless I'm moving into my house and I have professional movers and they are doing all the work. I don't mind unpacking. The packing process or the loading and unloading is what I'm not going to do, and I feel so bad that I had to put my stepdad and my cousins through what they did. They usually do it They've done it so many times before, and I just want to put them out of their misery. So I'm just not going to move anytime soon. I'm going to take care of them the best that I can, and yeah, they deserve it. I need to give them something special for everything they did. It was very, very sweet of them, and it meant the world to me. Oh, and AT&T is still claiming that somebody else lives at my apartment, and they put me on hold for like 20 minutes, and then they got back on and said they were going to call my apartment complex to confirm that new people are living there. And they hung up on me, and I haven't heard from them since.